Welcome back, everyone. Nezuko here. We're going to be talking a little Penny Parker today, and I want you to know right off the bat, okay, I made the thumbnail to grab your attention. This is not going to be an attack on any Penny Parker players, okay? If you play or you main Penny Parker, you have my utmost respect, okay? And if you are defending the territory that your team has captured, okay? You're holding that, then you are doing your job perfectly. Your score doesn't matter, your deaths doesn't matter, your damage doesn't matter, your final hits doesn't matter. Because your job as a bunker style Vanguard is to keep the space that your team has acquired. Strange and Magneto are awesome for um, pushing forward and getting that space. But Penny is the best at holding it. Okay, but what I'm going to talk about today is, well, two things really. The first thing, and by the way, we're going to look at some gameplay. Hopefully, if I see something interesting happening, I can throw that in as well, and as a little explainer. But the main thing we're going to focus on is because there's a lot of debate. There's a lot of debate over how Penny Parker should be played because she has changed a lot. If y'all have played her, since season one, season two, you know that she has changed drastically, and for the better in a lot of ways, and not so well in other ways. Okay, honest to God, I swear I'm not imagining it, but I don't think her webs are as good this season as they used to be, and by that I mean I have my sensitivity turned all the way down to 1, yet my webs are constantly attaching to a nearby web. It happens every single game. And there was always the issue of her travel webs not working properly. You shoot a travel web, you're trying to escape somebody's, hit you in the rear, and you can't escape. You're just getting juggled, and your travel web's not attaching. It's not pulling you out of danger. She gets juggled extremely easily, and I don't understand why the developers have Vanguards being juggled. You're a Vanguard. You're supposed to be a little more durable, a little tougher than your average duelist. But they do. It was a huge problem for Hulk. But listen, I digress. I'm getting a little off track here. Um, People will try to pressure you. They will try to tell you that you have to be on the front line. Because, like I said, they're duelists. They don't understand the job of a vanguard. These are the same people that call support characters healers. All right, and there's a it's a good point I'm bringing up here because Penny is, she may be called a vanguard, but she's really a support character now. I mean, she may have started as a vanguard. I think the developers are clearly and intentionally trying to blur the lines between duelist, support, vanguard. I think they're trying to give, if you've noticed, like lately, everyone has healing, everyone has a self heal or overheal. All the new characters can heal themselves by dealing damage. I think part of that is power creep, absolutely. I think part of that though is also, oh man, I hate to see it. Phoenix is just eating me alive here. She is so hard to deal with. Um, her and Bucky, I swear to God, a good Phoenix and a good Bucky could just ruin my day as Penny. But Jesus, what was I just talking about? I lost my train of thought. I need to stop watching this footage and concentrate a little better. Um, but yeah, when Penny started, she was definitely a serious vanguard. A more still very defensive vanguard, but a vanguard nonetheless. Now that her webs give the team heals and mobility, which I hate to say it, but a lot of people, especially in quick play, they do not understand that her webs, all of them, whether from her ultimate, whether from her pod, whether from her stun webs, her travel webs, all of her webs, every single one of them has a heal over time effect. So just like Penny Parker, it should always be standing on her webs for greater mobility and healing over time. So should you. If you find yourself in a team with Penny Parker and you have the option of standing on her web, do it. Do it. It's a heal over time. Like, why wouldn't you do it? But to this day, here we are, like closing in on season 7. people still don't understand that her webs have a heal over time. Anyways, I'm getting a little I'm getting a little off topic here. People will try to tell you, oh, you got a front line, you got a front line. And there are times, especially if you have a good Doctor Strange, a good Magneto, hell, if you've got a good Thing, and he is kicking ass, or a good Hulk, right? A good Bruiser, and he's just beating everyone senseless. Yeah, man, get right behind that guy and throw some stuns up, you know? Throw some webs at his feet to give him a heal over time. But you see what I'm saying? The point is, you are now a support character. And you have to get yourself in that mindset and ignore all the people telling you, you're a tank, get out there, you're a tank, get out there. They're morons. They don't know what they're talking about. Trust your instincts, trust your abilities with Penny, and play her the way that she works best. She works best as a support. And if you just think about it for a minute, the developers really have changed her to a beefy support character. It's not unusual now that I've adopted this new playstyle. It's not unusual that I will get 4.5, 5,000 healing. I know that's not gonna light any charts or records on fire, but for a tank, for a Vanguard to get 5,000 healing, and a lot of games where your support are getting 9, 10, 12,000. That's big. That's significant. And it doesn't have to be full heals. From 0 to 60. Just a little bit of healing buys the support some time to do the real healing. So this video is all about how to play Penny the modern way. Because I'm going to be perfectly blunt and honest. I was very depressed this season, starting season 6. Maybe even, I'm not exactly sure when it happened. It might have been like the latter half of season 5, but it's definitely been all of season 6. I was getting destroyed as Penny Parker. And I'm a pretty good Penny Parker player. I'm not going to claim to be the best in the world or anything like that, but I've consistently, for the past several seasons, had a 70%, 65 to 70% win rate. And a lot of that is competitive. Not all of it's competitive, but a lot of that is competitive. That's pretty significant. That's very good. Okay, it's not the best in the world, but it's pretty good. Especially with a character like Penny Parker, she's not easy to play. She's very complicated. She has lots of ins and outs. But my point is, she used to be a Vanguard. And she still technically is, but she's not like other Vanguards. You've got Cap and Venom. They're dive Vanguards, right? They're great at creating space and diving that back line, getting those people that are healing, or they're long-range duelists like Phoenix, Hela. They shine at that. They excel at getting support and getting squishy duelists. The Helas, the Phoenixes, the Hawkeyes, even the Punishers, they excel at that. You don't want these people back there in your backline eating you apart. I'm going to take a break for just a second in what I'm saying, because this right here, if you're playing this map, you have to, you see where I'm putting that web? You have to put a web there. If you don't do that, there's a little pro tip from dying countless times, right? You don't put that web on the left side, they will cut an angle and they will shoot your pod in there. That is a great place to fortify. But I'm telling you, if you don't put that web there, they will get right where Cloak and Dagger just was, and they'll shoot your pod from the side. So, and they're going to try to do it anyway. So it's almost a guaranteed free kill just by throwing 3 or 4 mines right there. But anyways, like back to what I was saying, you got to ignore the idiots. The idiots are going to say, "Oh, get on the front line. You're a tank. Get up there. Get up there." You've got to tune them out. You've got to tune them out. You've got to stay cool, calm, and collected. And just do you, man. Just do you. You are playing the most versatile character in the game. Okay, she's got a 3-second stun. She's got her pod with 350 hit points, that's spitting out these spiders. Each one of them does what, 20 damage each? So yeah, I mean, she's amazing. She's amazing, but you have to play to her strengths and avoid her weaknesses. And for like season 6, I was so depressed because I could not get any kills with Penny. Um, I was just getting destroyed by characters that always lost to me. Um, but a big part of that was just panicking, getting very emotional. If you're not calm and collected, your Penny's going to be horrible. Y'all know this. I mean, if you play Penny Parker at all, you're decent with her, you know this. You know I'm not lying. So, um, but yeah, she is definitely much more of a support character these days, and you can see that reflected in my play style. You know, I get in and out. I try to help out. I try to throw a few stuns here and there. But yeah, you notice I'm not staying on that front line, and it will drive people crazy. They'll call you a coward. They'll say, "Oh, our Penny was useless." They're gonna say all these awful, terrible things. But guess what? You're still gonna get the win. You're still gonna win the game. That's all that matters. You're still gonna get those MVPs. You're still gonna get those SVPs. When you don't win, you're gonna be the most valuable player because you're doing everything you can to make a difference, to turn the tide if you're losing, and to secure your position if you're winning. So, um, a tactic that I would have never taken a few seasons ago that I now use is uh, leaving my pod in the back line. There's not a whole lot of areas you can do this because they're often getting dove or dived. I'm not sure. I think it's dove, right? Dive. Is dived a word? But but yeah, your support and your long range duelist are going to be in that back line. Okay, you should never, ever have your Penny pod right on the front line. That is just begging for it to be destroyed. I honestly, back in the day, and I did it on this map. You see that I put the pod down, I let it build up some spiders, and then I make a trail leading out from it. Right, that trail the spiders can now travel on. Right. So I used to do this all the time. This is like the way I use the pod all the time. Here lately, I find myself more and more not putting it down long term, and just using it kind of like as a temporary healing station, honestly, for my support. I travel somewhere and I put my pod in a safe spot where it's not going to be shot, at least semi-safe spot. And if it's not, don't be afraid to pick it up and immediately move somewhere else. Make use of that travel web. A couple of, if you're not using these tips, this might also be helpful as well. My settings, what I do personally, I used to have my middle mouse 3 is what they call it. The wheel on the mouse. I used to have that as my stun web. I did move that to, to F. Yes, Hulk's really getting my nerves, but he doesn't want to. He's staying out of those webs. He's trying to, at least. Hulk's a bad matchup for Penny's a bad matchup for Hulk, really. I love playing Hulk, but man, I hate playing against a Penny Parker. Anyways, yeah, so I changed one of the things that really improved my gameplay immediately was changing my stun from my mouse wheel, taking it off my mouse wheel and putting it on F. Now I aim and I shoot, and my shoot button is not on my mouse, which is also my aim. I was missing so many webs simply because, well, when you click a button on your mouse, you're moving your mouse. So having the device that you're aiming with on the same bindings. Well, my pod. Don't be afraid to lose your pod. It's better that the pod is taking the damage than you are. It's what a lot of enemies they get into griefing Penny, and they get tunnel vision when it comes to killing her pod. Like, oh, this is gonna piss Penny off, and they're not thinking logically. You can destroy that pod by killing Penny. I've literally had people, and I know if you've played Penny Parker, you've experienced this too. I've literally had people stop attacking me when they've almost killed me and immediately switch to attacking my pod. Okay, that's 350 damage that I didn't have to take. So go for it. He'll be back in 14, 15 seconds. You won't be. So, Yeah, that's good stuff though. But yeah. Oh, so yes. Pro tips. The the um, the stun web. Do not have that on your mouse wheel. I use F. Use whatever is easy for you to access. Right. So that's number one. Number two is my travel web is my right click. I forget what the original setting is, but just having my travel, I think F might have been the original setting, but having right click as my travel web is just so convenient. It's right there, it's instantaneous. So I've got F as my stun, right click as my travel web. I am like locked and loaded. I'm fully ready to go. So you'll notice this kind of little rain of fire, but you'll notice in this footage, you know, I may not be getting a lot of kills, securing a lot of kills, but I am not dying. That's you know, pro tip number 3 for the day. Don't worry about your kills or even holding down the front. I tell people at the beginning of every single match, I'm like, hey, I'm a PENI, okay? I am not a frontline tank. Do not expect it. See, look at that. If I hadn't had my my travel web or my right click, I never would have escaped that jet ball. But yeah, man, just slow them down, make them walk on your mines, you know? You'll notice every time they take a little bit of territory, what do? I fall back and I set up. I make it hard for them to keep progressing, right? I'm traveling backwards and I'm throwing down my pod for my team, right? To give them some heals over time. Okay? Like if I wasn't back here protecting, you know, my support and my long range DPS, this Venom would just be eating them alive. You know, protecting my Moon Knight here. Right? That's all you gotta do, man. But yeah, just be confident, be secure. I've really come around. I stand by what I said about her webs. I don't know what they've done to ruin the sensitivity. It never used to attach to other webs. Like when I'm trying to put down several webs and make a trail, my travel web or my stun, usually I think no, excuse me, it's always the travel. The travel web will always, like not always, but very frequently, unfortunately, attach to a web 5-6 feet away from where I'm aiming. I'll be aiming, you know, directly in front of me, and it'll attach to the web that's already down there. Listen, folks, I'm gonna have to wrap this up in a minute, but I just wanted to say, you know, thank y'all for watching. I hope you don't feel clickbaited. I had to make a thumbnail that would get people's attention. But I am getting back into Penny Parker. I'm going to be playing more Penny Parker, and I've just got to. You know what? I almost forgot this. Here's another pro tip for you. All right, get in the habit. I know you don't see me do it in this video. I'm coming off like a little bit of a hypocrite, but get in the habit of jumping before you use a travel web. Okay? Yeah, I did it there. But, you know, get in the habit of jumping when you use a travel web, because just that slightly higher elevation will give you fewer errors. You know, you'll have fewer problems with your, like if you're shooting a travel web up a hill, not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But when it's level ground and you're trying to shoot a travel web, a lot of times it will just attach to the nearest web it can reach. And it never used to be like this. So something they've done, something the programmers have done, I'm getting juggled here, unfortunately. I was trying to get away with my travel web, but they really need to fix that. That's ridiculous. Just do away with the feature. Honest to God, just get rid of it. It's not doing anyone any favors. Nobody wants their webs to attach. And also, that's another gripe I've had this season. Have y'all had this problem too? I'm having trouble with my web detaching. Anyways, take care. Bye.